What's going on, guys? It's Anime One back here with another video, and today I'm here with another part of what if Naruto had Gojo Satoru's powers, and also I'm gonna be continuing what if Naruto had the Jogan. It's gonna be out tomorrow since I had to rewrite the whole script, and yeah, it's ready now. But that's all I had to inform. So if you guys like the content in the channel, please subscribe to the channel, and while you're at it, also like this video. So let's begin the video. Fire was everywhere, and a man was carrying Naruto on his shoulder as the boy was screaming and punching the man to let him go. "Let me go, bastard! I have to hold them! I can just not run away!" he said. The man looked at Naruto, tears in his eyes. "Naruto-san, but this is the only way. You're the hope of our clan. We cannot let you perish," he said, as Naruto watched his village getting burned down. And after a few minutes, he saw the man that was carrying him dead in front of his eyes, killed by Kumo ninjas. Naruto looked at the scene in shock. The Kumo ninja came in front of him and brought down his kunai with a sick smile on his face. "This is the end of the Uzumaki clan," he said as he brought down his kunai. Naruto woke up. He opened his eyes as sweat rolled down his entire body, cold sweat as he was panting. He grabbed his left eye and just looked at the reflection that was in front of him from the mirror. He sighed. "That dream again," he said. He was having this dream many times this month. It had been a month since he had joined the Leaf Village, and everything was going pretty much fine, he would say. He was getting stronger, that was for sure, but not by a huge margin or by the amount that he wanted. So that was that. He had also met one of the few Uzumaki survivors. Her name was Mito Uzumaki. The woman was not gonna live long, and Naruto knew that. The Kyuubi was extracted out of her and transferred into Kushina Uzumaki, the princess of the Uzumaki clan. And she was a troublesome girl, to say the least, for Naruto. She would follow him around everywhere, saying that they both are outsiders and Uzumaki, so they both should stick together. Naruto found that statement weird. Well, yes, Uzumakis were completely loyal to their clan and traditions, but Kushina's attachment to him was strange. It was like she was too attached. He understood why she did that, though. She was alone in this village. She pretty much had no one that she could call family. And Naruto came out of nowhere, so it was only natural for her to feel attachment towards him. He was the only family she had left. Naruto sighed, thinking about this month. He got up from his bed and took a shower and then brushed his teeth, got breakfast, and left for the academy. Well, the academy was not so bad, just the lessons were boring since Naruto pretty much knew everything that they were teaching him. Yeah, he had learned those things in Uzu, so it was not much of things to learn that he had to study. But the only thing that was fun to Naruto was sparring sessions, specifically with Minato. The boy was actually quite good, much than Naruto thought. And same goes for Minato. No one in the class could actually challenge the boy. But since Naruto came, Minato had never won against Naruto. Yes, the fight would be close, but Naruto was holding back and Minato could see that. The boy was not using his powers that his eyes contained. Naruto had told Minato that he was special and he had a dojutsu which contained many powers. And Minato knew for a fact that if Naruto went all out, he could never win. And even when Naruto didn't win all out, the boy's physical strength alone was something to be feared. Well, that was one of the abilities that the Sixth Eye provided. Heavenly Restriction, an ability that provides you incredible physical strength. even without training. Well, as you grow, the more physical strength you get, and as you train, it also adds on to that monstrous physical strength that you already have. So, when you're born with a six eyes, you pretty much hit the jackpot. But again, it's a curse. You'll be the target of many enemies. Naruto started walking towards the academy. He entered the academy and sighed. This was the thing that he hated the most in the academy. The fucking fangirls. They all looked at him and came in front of him, trying to get his attention, trying to ask him out on a date or whatever. But Naruto just walked past them with annoyed look. He sat right beside Minato, who grinned at Naruto. Well, looks like the fangirls are not gonna leave you anytime soon, Minato said in a teasing tone. Naruto sweat dropped. You know, you find this quite amusing, when you used to be the one understanding me. Weren't you the rookie of the year and the fangirl's target before I got here? Naruto said. Minato grinned at Naruto. Yes, I was, and now I'm happy that you are here, Naruto. You maybe have stole the Rookie of the Year title from me, but that doesn't mean that everything was bad because of me losing that title. I don't have to bother with fangirls anymore, Minato said. Naruto looked at Minato as they both chuckled. I guess you're right. Well, the teacher is coming. Might as well sleep, Naruto said. Minato sweat dropped. The teacher will scold you, he said. Naruto shrugged. You can try. I already know everything, so if he asks me anything, I'll just answer the goddamn question, Naruto said. Minato sighed. Well, if that's how you want to play, go ahead, he said. First period was over as Naruto looked around, and his eyes twisted in annoyance as Kushina came towards him. Hey Naruto, she said with a goofy smile. Hey, Princess Kushina, Naruto said. Kushina glared at him. I told you not to call me princess, didn't I? She said. Naruto shrugged. Well, it's a habit. I'm trying to get over it, but again, it's a habit, so it's not that easy, Naruto said. She sighed. Well, do you want to have lunch together? She said. Naruto looked at her, and she looked at Naruto. He shook his head. No. And soon as he said that, he vanished. Kushina was steaming out of her head. That bastard, he's gonna pay, she thought. But then she looked around and saw all the girls were glaring at her. She started stepping aside with a nervous look on her face. Hey now, girls, we can talk about this, she said. As the girls chased Kushina around, Kushina was, well, more than enough to handle them, but she simply didn't. Minato absorbed the whole scene with a sigh. Those two are troublesome, he said. As then a girl appeared beside him. You could help Naruto if you want to. Naruto looked at Kushina's best friend, Mikoto Uchiha. Well, I could, but I don't want to get involved in this ruckus of the girls. I finally got rid of them, and getting them back isn't the greatest decision, Minato said. Mikoto giggled. Well, I guess you're right about that one. So, Minato, if you're free, how about we have a lunch together? She said. Minato looked at her. Sure, why not? He and her were having lunch ever since Naruto had arrived in the academy. Kushina would pester him, Naruto would, ditch Kushina, and then Kushina would try to chase him around and find him. And Naruto would simply arrive in the next period, and everything would go the same. Time skip. 3 years. All the boys and girls were 12 years old in the academy, so it was a graduating test. Everyone had passed, and Naruto and Minato had tied for the Rookie of the Year title, and Kushina and Mikoto had tied for the Kunoichi of the Year title. And because of that, the team placements were gonna be quite hard. In the Hokage's office, Hiruzen was sitting around in his chair as he had assigned the teams. He had divided all the teams. Now, that was all up to the Jonin senseis to which team they wanted to elect. Jiraiya stepped up. I've had my eyes on the Namikaze boy for a long time, so how about I have him and his team? Jiraiya said. Hiruzen nodded. I have no objections, Jiraiya. Any other Jonin have any objections? No other Jonin stood up because they didn't want to get on Jiraiya's bad side. The man was a Sanin for God's sake. And then another man stepped up. All the Jonin's eyes widened when that man stepped up. He had white hair and a tanto strapped to his back. This was the White Fang of the leaf, Sakumo Hatake. The man stepped up. I have a keen interest on the boy named Naruto Uzumaki, and I would like to have his team, he said. All the Jonins were still quite petrified. The man was probably as strong or even stronger than the Sanins. So the man stepping up to be a Jonin leader was quite a shock. The man was at least 25 years old, so that was that. He was as the same age as Jiraiya was. So, yeah. Hiruzen looked at one of his most promising shinobis in the whole village. The man could probably challenge him and go toe-to-toe with him. So he smiled. Very well then, Sakumo. You will have this team. I have no objections. Anyone does? Hiruzen asked. No other Jonin stepped up, so it was decided. The other teams were announced as well, like the Inishika Cho and the others. The academy, the teacher was announcing the teams. As he went to Team 7, Team 7 is Minato and Namikaze, Mikoto, Uchiha, and Hayashi Hyuga. Your sensei, or your Jonin teacher, will be Jiraiya of the Sanin. Many of the students' eyes widened as they looked at the team with jealousy. Jiraiya was Konoha's one of the strongest ninjas, and they got him as a damn sensei. And the team announced Team 8. Team 8 is Sakaku Nara, Uza Akimichi, and Inoichi Yamanaka. Your Jonin sensei is gonna be Abarai Snara, he said, as all of them nodded. And Team 10, Team 9 is still in progression, so yeah. Team 10, it's gonna be Naruto Uzumaki. All the girls' ears perked up at that, and they were praying to the gods that they were in Naruto's team. Kushina Uzumaki. Kushina jumped up in cheers as she looked at Naruto with a grin. Naruto just sighed as he banged his hand on the table. God, why me? He said. And Fugaku Uchiha. And your Jonin sensei is gonna be Sakumo Hatake. All the students again looked at the team in jealousy. They knew who Sakumo Hatake was. The White Fang of the leaf. The man was rumored to be stronger than all the legendary 3 Sanins. So that was something. So I hope you all enjoyed your ears and have a positive and long life. I'm proud to be a Jonin sensei and I'm proud to teach a bats like you. So all I can say to you is don't die being a ninja. As soon as the Chunin said that, he vanished and the students waited for the Jonin senseis to come. The first one to arrive was a silver-haired man as all the students looked at him in awe. Sakumo Hatake had arrived. Hey, that's the White Fang, one of the students said. Yeah, they're so lucky to get him as a Jonin sensei, the other student said. But Sakumo didn't care. He looked up at Naruto and gave him a smile. Naruto Uzumaki, Kushina Uzumaki, and Fugaku Uchiha, please come to the rooftop immediately, he said as he vanished in a sunset. Naruto stood up from his chair and started walking away, along with Kushina and Fugaku, who followed behind him. They all reached the rooftop in within 1 minute as they all sat down. You reached the rooftop quite quickly, or I'm guessing Naruto forced you to, he said with a smirk. All the Genins eyes widened except Naruto. I'm guessing you sent a shadow clone or something to spy on us, Naruto said. Kumo looked at the boy and nodded. Indeed, you're walking so fast that the others had no choice but to keep up with you. And so they're panting a little as well, he said. Both the Genins glared at Naruto, who shrugged. Well, I wasn't about to waste my time. I could have used the Sunshin Jutsu, but I simply didn't want to waste chakra, he said. Sakumo's sweat dropped hearing that. Well, he's certainly something, he thought. But then he looked at all the Genins. Okay, so let's introduce ourselves. I'll go first. My name is Sakumo Hatake. I'm also known as the White Fang of the Leaf. My hobbies, well, it's probably eating. And my likes are my friends and this village. My dislikes are my enemies. My goal is to have a family with my wife someday and protect those peoples that I cherish, he said. All the Genins looked at him and nodded. Well, you go first, he said, pointing at Fugaku, who sighed. Well, my name is Fugaku Uchiha. My hobbies are training and eating ramen, he said. As he looked at Kushina, well, she had the same interest as him. And then my dislikes, well, people who are weak and cannot stand up for themselves. My goal is to be the leader of our clan and bring our clan to the heights never reached, he said. Fugaku looked at the boy and nodded. Very well. You go, he said, pointing at Kushina. Kushina cheered up. My name is Kushina Uzumaki. My likes, well, ramen and training. My dislikes, well, that would be waiting for the ramen to be cooked. My dream is to have a family. Also, become the first female Hokage, she said as she pumped her fist in the air. And Sakuma smiled at the girl. She was like a bright sunshine. And then he looked at the boy that he was interested in most. Well, you go then, he said. Naruto looked at his teacher. My name is Naruto Uzumaki. My likes, well, training and eating yakisoba bread, I guess. And then my dislikes, well, I better keep that a secret. It's not something that I want to speak about, he said. Sakuma nodded, understanding the boy's past. He must hate those three villages. Well, my goal, on the other hand, yes, that's very clear. I want to protect this place, Konoha, my new home, and never let what happened again, Naruto said. Sakuma looked at the boy. He knew what the boy exactly was talking about when he said his goals. Kushina and Fugaku, on the other hand, never knew Naruto's past as much, so they didn't knew what the boy was talking about. Well, that does it, Sakuma said as he clapped his hand. Meet me tomorrow in training ground 10s. Tomorrow is gonna be the day that's gonna decide whether you're actually gonna become a Genin or not. Kushina spoke up, but we already had the graduation exams. We're already Genins, aren't we? She said. Sakuma gave her a high smile. Well, that would be the case if Konoha wasn't as strict as being ninjas. The test you had in the academy was just to see whether you're fit to give the Genin's exams or not. You could say it's an exam that qualifies before your final exams. So yeah, the final exams, hence the exam that's gonna decide whether you're gonna be a Genin or not, is gonna be held tomorrow in Training Ground 8. And also, this test contains 66% chance of failure. So remember that. So let's see you guys tomorrow, 5 in the morning, sharp. Okay? He said as he vanished in a poof of smoke. Naruto stood up, so did Fugaku. Well, we know what's coming, so let's get prepared. Fugaku said as he started walking away. Naruto looked at Kushina. What are you gonna do, Kushina? Well, I guess that's some progression. I didn't say princess this time, Naruto said. As Kushina became a little red. Well, I don't know. We're just gonna have to see and perform the test, I guess, he said. With enthusiasm, Naruto sweat dropped. Yeah, just perform the test without any plans, he said. Kushina's face became even more red as a tick mark appeared on her head. Hey, are you insulting me? She tried to punch the boy, but then he vanished before she could. Come on, she said as Naruto was gone. Naruto was sitting in the Hokage monument of the third Hokage with Minato. So, Sakuma Hatake, huh? Minato said, with a smirk. Well, I could say the same for you, Jiraiya of the Sanin. We both have got great teachers, but as good as that sounds, that only means the test will be harder for both of our teams, Naruto said, as Minato nodded. Yes, indeed. The test will be much harder because our senseis are much stronger than the others, and that's troublesome. I don't think even both of us teaming up can actually stand up to even one of them, Minato said. Naruto, again, didn't say anything at that. He didn't know about that, whether he could take on Sakuma Hatake and even land a scratch on the man or not. Well, he sighed. He would find that out tomorrow. Well, he stood up. Well, see you, Minato. I have to get prepared for tomorrow's exam. When do you have to come to your training grounds? Naruto asked. 5 in the morning, Minato said. Naruto grinned. Well, the same goes here, he said, as you vanished in aura of blue mist. Minato sighed as he vanished in a bolt of yellow lightning. This was about to get interesting. Things were about to get interesting for Naruto Uzumaki and the others. Shinobi world was changing, and some people knew what was gonna happen in the future, and that were the Okage was looking out of his window. The six eyes have power that has cannot be imagined. There only be two six eyes users in the past. One of them were assassined before, as they were right at their birth. Because of the previous one, the first six eyes user, they were so powerful that no one could even touch them. And Naruto, you are gonna become as strong as that man if you can control that power that you have. Here's a thought. The boy had the power to change the world, and from his past, Hiruzen knew that the boy had anger, unbridled rage towards the people that took everything from him. That were the three great villagers. He just wished that Naruto would let go of those vengeful feelings and not focus on revenge. Instead, form bonds and cherish camaraderie above all. Maybe Kushina was the key, since he was the only Uzumaki left. Naruto didn't show it, but he cared for Kushina a lot more than many people can realize. And well, the simple reason was she was the princess of the Uzumaki clan. If not, if she didn't have the special chakra for containing the nine tails, she would probably be the hero of the Uzumaki clan until they were wiped out. So that was that. Hiruzen could only hope the future could stay good and Konoha would survive whatever was coming in the future. Underground bases, a man was standing or sitting on his throne. He was the Yami of the shinobi of darkness. He was the corrupted part of Konoha. He also held the roots that would protect the leaf from the shadows. And unfortunately for him, Hiruzen approved of this, but soon in the future, that would not be the case. Zo looked at his rude operative that was kneeling in front of him. So, Akuma Hatake is the boy's teacher, you say? That's fine. The young man is quite powerful. He can probably beat me in a fight if it came to it. So yeah, I'll leave him in his capable hands. I'm glad that Hiruzen didn't choose any fool to teach the boy. And if he did, it would be such a waste of such a potential weapon for Konoha. Danzo said. The Anbu nodded. Sir, do you want us to tail the boy? He said. Here, Danzo shook his head. The boy has exceptional sensory abilities. No matter how much you hide your chakra, he will sense you. So don't do that. Danzo said. The rude operative nodded. As Danzo smirked. Soon, Naruto Uzumaki, you and the Kyuubi Jinchuriki will be mine, he thought, as a dark look appeared on his face.